Music is, if my husband played with a woman that was in the hospital that inspired her so much, it just lifted her whole spirits. Whatever she was down in, it brought her up. Music is something that can be appreciated by everyone. It doesn't matter whether it's symphonic, Western, jazz, whatever, blues. Is something that will keep everybody moving, you know. My name is Cecilia Tapscott. I've been in Los Angeles ever since birth. I was born January 6, 1934, at the General Hospital. I was raised on the east side of town on 14th and Essex, which is a street that had smelling stuff. We had bakeries, we had candy factories, we had cookies, Mama's cookies. Around the corner was the Black Fire Department. Across the street was the Coca-Cola plant. We had a drugstore where you had a counter where we had ice cream. And then down the street was the Hub Theater, which showed only Latin movies. On the other end of town, we had the Rosebud, the Lincoln Theater. So we had a lot of places to go and do things. On 20th Street, we had a swimming pool. So actually living on Central Avenue was fun. This is the picture that was taken when I was young, my first piano lesson. I'm in my home sitting down rehearsing. As I was growing up, naturally, I had dance lessons and piano lessons. Back in the day, we had the Covan's dance studio, where I danced on the stage at the Lincoln Theater. Then I took piano lessons. I went to elementary school at San Pedro. We went to a mixed school in Lafayette Junior High School, Emmanuel Arts High School. This book here is a book from my junior high school. I was appointed girls vice president. My husband was president. I'm on the cover, but it's faded out. But within this book, there's a picture of myself and my husband where we were holding office within the junior high school. So I'm very proud of this. And this is when I first met my husband at the age of 13 at this junior high school. So I'm really fond of this book and these pictures. After I graduated, I attended business college, and after that I applied for a position with the county as a comptometer operator. And when that was defunct, I had to go to West LA College for accounting. And that's where I got a position as an accountant. It was with LA County, and I worked at the General Hospital where I was born for 18 years. Working in that department, there were only 2 blacks. And at first they didn't want to hire me, but the lady that they had for the position, she didn't want it, so being on the list, I had to be hired. My duties at the hospital was keeping track of all the medication that was prescribed to the patients, sponges, everything that was for them, we had to keep track, and I had to keep it in the accounting department to keep track of what we had put out. Then I got a promotion and went to mental health, where I retired after 32 and a half years. This picture here was taken at the 5-4 Ballroom. We went to see Ike and Tina Turner back in the day. It's my mother and her friend, my husband and I, and my best man from my wedding. This is a photograph of my husband and myself stepping out to a big to-do. I think it might have been when the black and white, when they had those affairs, these girls had these black and white balls. We would be invited to those things. I met him when we were 13. I met him in junior high school. Mm-hmm. He was playing on the stage. We were eating lunch in the auditorium. And the girl that I was sitting with, we lived in the same complex, and he used to go to 20th Street School with her, elementary. So he said, "Dorothy, who is this girl that's sitting with you?" And she said, "Her name is Cecilia." And he says, oh, I like her, those big eyes. Oh, you got some pretty big eyes. And I was bashful, so I covered my face. And he went back on the stage and he was playing Marie. He liked Tommy Darcy. He was a trombonist before a pianist. He's do 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 do, and I was sitting there just hiding. And then finally he says, "Come on, let me walk you home." And I was just really, really shy. I was like another guy that didn't go to that school, but he didn't know me and know about me, but I liked him anyway. So this old horse, he kept following me and following. So finally, it all just happened. And his mother worked for the Board of Education. She was a cook. And when I come to the cafeteria, she would put extra food on my tray. Got married in 52, and my husband and I had 5 children. I have 20 grandchildren and 21 great-grands. Well, let's see, my husband being a musician, well, he played with Lionel Hampton before he left to go to play in Europe. He was a trombonist until he had an accident and his tooth loosened, so he couldn't play anymore, so he went back to piano. Yeah, being married to a musician is rough. Tough times, hard times, because half the time he didn't have a job, and it made it, kind of rough on him. He felt bad because he couldn't help support his family, and I was the only one working. And I didn't like the idea that he wasn't thinking about money, because we needed the money to survive, but money was unimportant to him. But later on, as he began to be better known, he started traveling to Europe, and this is where we made everything. My husband went to Europe because people had heard of him over there, and he was invited to play over there. So every place that he has played in Europe, they asked him to come. We traveled many countries. We went to Europe, Switzerland, Germany, we had so many other places. I came to Vienna, Italy. He played in the Colosseum in Italy. He brought back a medal for Mayor Tom Bradley because we were two countries together. And we were just everywhere. I just can't name all the places. We went to New York for him to record. They recorded him in Santa Barbara. So he has quite a few recordings out. Yeah. So I'm thriving on what he's leaving me. My husband was a well-loved individual. He loved people, and he loved children. We could tell by me having so many children. and he was just really a very conscientious individual. He loved family, and he was always there for his family. My husband was a community individual. He played for the community. He felt like they should know the music. And the music that he did was what you call Afro music, And he just thought that was what he should do. What I cherished the most and what I will always remember was the Watts riot. I'll always remember that. My supervisor was the type of an individual. She says, do not come in. I don't want anything to happen to you. If we need you, we will send a card for you. So basically, I got a lot of experience from that because as my husband and I were coming home, we were approached by one of the soldiers with a gun in our face. And the only way we got by was he says, we're going home. We're not here to loot or to do anything, so let us pass. So that was memorable there because I'll never forget it. It was frightening. The policeman claimed that he started the Watts riot, playing out there with that music. They call that music. And they would get a plaque, they would play on a plaque and go through the community, and all the people just come out to hear him. South Park played over there, people. He played for the people. It wasn't money. It was just, he just wanted the community to hear the music and enjoy the music. When he was dying, the social worker came in the house and he says, "Mr. Tapscott, where will we have your services when you pass?" He said, "I don't know." He said, "You're going to have to need the Coliseum or something." I said, "No, he's going to be buried in the church that I attend." And when they got there, it was an overflow. They were all up in the choir stand. They was in the basement. They was out in the foyer. Church couldn't hold the people. We got to the cemetery. The cars was all outside the gate. Then we had a young man there that filmed the whole thing. God, he took the whole funeral, 2 things of it. But it was some funeral. During my lifetime, the changes that I've seen is that, when we first moved in, there was only one black family within the community. The church was not a black church. It was a Mormon church. And then the house that we wanted, at first she didn't want us to have it. But then as she saw another black family move in, then she called and told us we could have it. Still next door to me was a white family. The wife was scared of us, but the husband was friendly. So after a while, when he saw that she couldn't handle it, they moved. So all of a sudden, they start moving out, we start moving in. And that's how it's been ever since. But here lately, they're coming back in the neighborhood. So, so they go out and then they're coming back. My favorite Bible scripture is, "Do unto others as you will have them do unto you." That's my favorite, and I hope that everybody will abide by that. Things to give me joy: going to the casino, going to church on Sunday, Bible studies on Thursday nights, visiting my children, going to Portland, going to wherever my children are living. It's just going to be around family. That's the joy of my life, family. What I enjoy most in life is cooking. They had a baking place over in the J.C. Penney's where I went to learn to make cakes. And every time my husband was out of the country, by the time he came back, I had a cake made for him, decorated with the piano on it. And I just love cooking, really, and shopping. I love to shop. J.C. Penney's, my favorite store. What I think about the youth of today is they should be educated. I feel that every young person should have a degree in college and look forward to something that they would like to do. Like my granddaughter is into science, so she's working with the rockets that's going up. As musicians, you work hard to travel over the world and play your music. I think the children of nowadays should be more aware of what's going on around them and learn to be more respectful and learn to do the things that we hope their parents taught them. I'm very happy with my life. With my life, I'm happy. I've lived a wonderful life and I've enjoyed every moment of it, and I'm still enjoying it.